Nobody streams live sport like Unbeaten. As we run the plays and take the hits, if you love live sport, remain unbeaten.
Hello and welcome. I'm Tracy Pa with the Midday News. A 31-year-old man from Morobe and Milne Bay who was apprehended by bystanders at Nadzap has been charged with impersonation by Morobe Police. Police from Morobe Provincial Police Headquarters reported that the suspect, dressed in police uniform with his crew, drove to Liron Plains in Markham District on Tuesday, November 5th, and hijacked a white twin steer loaded with 200 cartons of Blanca coffee headed out for Highlands. They kidnapped the driver and hijacked his truck, but while returning to Lae, they ran out of fuel at Nadzap and stopped at the service station. During the stop, the kidnapped driver freed himself from the cable ties, fought off a couple of the kidnappers before he jumped off their vehicle and called out to bystanders for help. PPC Jacob Singura said the gang made a deal with a foreign-owned shop at Malahang to supply them with Blanca coffee. The 200 cartons of Blanca are valued at 400,000 kina. The MP for Goilala, Casimiro Aya, and the Central Provincial Police Commander Chief Inspector Joseph Saleh recently held a peace negotiation meeting with the people of Vanapa and Vaikabu village in Central Province to quell outgoing tribal conflict between the two villages. Already 7 people have died. According to a police report, 6 people from Vaikabu village were allegedly killed following a confrontation with the people of Vanapa. People from Vaikabu allegedly killed a Goilala man on Wednesday, November 13th, in retaliation. The deceased resides at Vanapa village. Police allege that those involved in the fighting are believed to be from Goilala. As a result, the Hiritano Highway was blocked off to travelers. Goilala MP Casimiro Aya first spoke to the group from Goilala who reside at Vanapa, asking them to stop taking the law into their own hands. He said many lives had been lost and the issues have been reported to the police. He said people using the highway are innocent and have nothing to do with the fighting. He urged the group from Goilala not to attack them without reason. He delivered the same message to those residing at Vaikabu to stop setting up roadblocks along the highway, to remain in their homes and find non-violent ways to resolve existing issues, considering they have lost lives to this conflict. Meanwhile, Central Provincial Police Commander Chief Inspector Joseph Saleh said investigation into the recent incident is underway. He also said the Hiritano Highway is a national highway and a government asset. No one has the right to conduct unauthorized roadblocks, collect money, or attack any traveler. The 2024 Bougainville Voice Explosion, or BVX, showcased the talent of young Bougainvillean musicians, blending traditional sounds with modern influences. Renowned Bougainville drummer Ben Akalitz joined the event, emphasizing the importance of music in reconnecting youth with their cultural roots. He highlighted how BVX fosters pride in Bougainvilleans' unique rhymes while encouraging collaboration with First Nations artists from Australia. His involvement inspired local musicians and reinforced the event's goal to create pathways for young people to pursue music and preserve their cultural heritage.
Youths, and he started this voice explosion. So he started off as just young singers coming to sing and project the uniqueness in singing and all that stuff. But the idea turned into a more bigger, because everybody else said, "Oh, but what about us? What about us musicians? And so we decided to take a different direction on this one, and promote the contemporary music more, and the culture as well, more than just having a singer going and singing some cover songs from bands that not even in this country. And so we wanted to be a unique competition. And the aim is to promote the contemporary sound of Bougainville and the traditional sound of Bougainville melded together to create this sound that's purely Bougainville. And so that's how the voice explosion became.
To Overseas News, a national survey of thousands of migrant women has found more than half have been sexually harassed while working. Most of them have never formally reported the incidents out of fear it would negatively impact their visa status.
Vietnam to Sydney to study social work 5 years ago.
Can I please get a latte to have here?
But her student visa status and need for part-time work left her vulnerable. When she asked for extra shifts, she was preyed upon by her boss.
He said to me, I just want to hug you, I just want to kiss you, I just want to, have fun with you.
3,000 migrant women have shared their stories in a national report led by Unions New South Wales that was launched today.
Thank you to all of you women who have contributed to this report.
1 in 5 women on a temporary visa, reported sexual harassment. 75% of them said that they did not report it for fear of repercussions.
The highest rates were in the construction industry, followed by horticulture, hospitality, retail and cleaning. 3/4 of workers surveyed didn't formally report the harassment to police or authorities, mostly because they feared it would affect their visa or future prospects in Australia.
We know that underreporting of harmful behaviour is rife across Australian workplaces.
This is Safe Space Elevate.
Lawyer Prabha Nandakapol specialises in workplace culture reform.
What's really important is that migrant women are provided safe and accessible reporting options, such as anonymous reporting pathways.
The report recommends establishing independent migrant worker centres in all states. The federal government is considering the report's findings.
Millions of travellers pass through Queensland's airports every year, and keeping them safe and running smoothly is a huge task. The ABC has been given behind-the-scenes access to the Australian Border Force's operation, and vibes are one of their latest targets.
Whale meat, a whip made from a zebra's tail, throwing stars, flick knives and even batons.
That can very quickly become a weapon.
These are some of the illegal items seized by Border Force officers in Queensland.
Because they're so readily available overseas, in places like Bali, people will buy them, not realising that they are prohibited.
Behind the scenes at the Gold Coast airport, luggage is being swabbed for drugs and bags searched for undeclared contraband, including animal products.
That's an actual piece of ivory. That is very, very valuable, and in the black market could fetch hundreds of thousands, if not millions now.
Around the country, almost $5 million in undeclared currency and close to 2 tonnes of illegal tobacco has been seized in the past financial year.
You're entitled to bring in millions of dollars as long as you declare it.
New laws also make it illegal to carry 2 or more therapeutic vapes into Australia.
Even New Zealand, it's not a high-risk country, not a high-risk source for us, but we're finding that vapes are very trendy at the moment, and it's up to us to educate the public.
In the past year, travellers have brought more than 14,000 kilograms of illegal drugs into Australian airports like this one here on the Gold Coast. Border Force officers have one simple message for travellers with items from overseas. If in doubt, declare it. In the most serious cases, travellers can face fines of hundreds of thousands of dollars or even jail time. And Border Force officers warn anyone trying to conceal illegal souvenirs will be caught.
Quite often you'll just waste your money. You'll come into the country, you'll get to the border and we'll take those things away from you.
To sports, the highly anticipated FIFA World Cup Oceania qualifier in Port Moresby had the home side recording a 3-all draw against Fiji yesterday at PNG Football Stadium in Port Moresby. PNG drew first blood in the contest through Joseph Joe and looked certain to record their first win in the qualifier, but a resilient Fijian side fought their way back to draw the game.
The burden of expectation for the football community in the country was on their shoulders following poor performance in Fiji last month. PNG couples knew what they were up for when they took the pitch yesterday. They responded well in the opening minutes of the game with an early goal through Joseph Joe. The couples had the fair field position and looked good in patches before Fiji's Thomas Dunn returned the goal to level up 1-1. At the stroke of halftime, the magic boot of Ati Kepo gifted Felipe Vera Arango's men a good 2-1-0 at halftime. Despite PNG having its nose in front at the break, the Mets looked certain to go down to the wire, and it did. Back for second half, the visitors hit first on the scoreboard through a penalty goal. The equalizer put the game back in balance as both sides battled for good field position. Veteran Raymond Gunamba worked hard to score PNG's third goal from a good cross pass from Joe. Just when the couples thought it was over, the courageous Fijian outfit fought their way back into the game through weak PNG defense. Meryl Nand nailed the equalizer at the stroke of full time. The result means PNG have a slim chance of making the quarterfinals. The hope is that New Caledonia beat Fiji by more than 3 goals and PNG beat Solomon Islands to give PNG a fighting chance to make the finals. The result of the game between Fiji and New Caledonia will decide who partners New Caledonia in the finals. The FIFA 26 Oceania qualifier continues in Port Moresby on Sunday, 17th November. Rex Litter, TV1 Sports.
The PNG Mosquitoes are confident of making a first impression when the inaugural Pacific Cup Australian Football League Senior Men's Competition gets underway next week at Queensland Sunshine Coast, Australia. The men's competition will run concurrently with the women's games, where the PNG Flames will also be competing. For this particular international event, about 40% of the men's touring party are apprentices and have earned their stripes playing at a number of junior international competitions and graduating to the senior ranks in the domestic competitions under the PNG AFL New Kick development pathway.
Despite an imbalance in the team in reference to experience, the young Moses side will be led by 4 Australian-based players in Glenn Senyong, Jeconiah Perry, Kila Rawali and Laurie Logo, and is coached by former PNG rep and now president of Port Moresby AFL Douglas Lai. PNG is expected to play with a lot of heart, passion and energy, utilizing their natural speed and skill and stamina to run rings around some of the bigger and taller opponents. They are pulled against Tonga, Fiji and Nauru, who won't be easy beats this time around. Lai briefly reflected on the Mosquitoes' previous run of success and how the new crop of players would handle the challenge this time around.
We have New Zealand the PNG Mosquitoes were up against in the International Cup. The most recent one being in the 2017 International Cup, where we just made it home by a point, defeating New Zealand for the back-to-back cup in 2017. We also have a strong competition from Nauru, so those are the 2 teams that will be a threat to us. like Captain John James has mentioned, we have a team that's made up of a very young side, but quite fortunate enough, they've made it through the pathway program that FL PNG development pathway program. So, just bringing them into the senior level is not that difficult because they've gone through the pathway program. So, but we do have some experience hands with the likes of John James and Emmanuel Tupia, Paul Philip, to name a few. So definitely we just will be able to be competitive at that level.
From all accounts, Coach Lai has been impressed with the boys' work ethics and commitment. He said training has been intense with assistance from the PNG-SF High Performance Unit, especially the strength and conditioning team.
Without the assistance of the high performance, I think we would have struggled a bit to reach our peak fitness with both our teams. They came through with strength and conditioning programs, which has really helped our boys to put them at that level, peak level, to be in the competition next week. So,
for Mosquitoes returning skipper John James, training has been quite enjoyable, especially with a lot of young boys coming through the development pathway and embracing the opportunity to represent their country at a higher level. James said they have been learning a lot from each other as well. The PNG Mosses leave for Brisbane tomorrow and will open the Cup campaign on Monday, November 18, when they take on Tonga first. They then meet Fiji Tribe on Tuesday. PNG will have a bye on Wednesday before they play Nauru Chiefs on Thursday. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
And that ends the news update. Do join us at 6 for more.